While she
Yes,
slays.
Thompson. Sorry.
What was that?
It's not enough.
Can we just do the whole podcast on trying to guess what Sage is saying?
Oh.
It's like...
It's the entirety of it is gonna be. We're just gonna title this one the just the one where we try to help Sage out. Just trying to guess what she's saying. The one where voice mod absolutely destroys everything.
Why am I auto-tune?
Hello? Can you hear me?
There we
Hello?
go. Hi.
Hey.
What's that? I was stuck in autotune. What is that shit?
That is a fate I would never wish upon my worst foe.
And I can't hear myself. Oh, I can still hear myself. Oh no. I can fix that though. You can start doing.
Sage. Sage, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Knock knock.
I can.
Knock knock.
Who's there? Who's there?
Oh no, Sage. Don't ever, if Jeremy ever says knock knock, do not ever answer the door. He just ding dong ditches.
Oh my god, it's so hard to talk. The delay got worse. How does that happen? Sorry. I know this. I know this.
McKenna.
Yep.
Knock knock.
Nobody's home.
Knock knock. Knock knock. No, no, no. Just say who's there. Who's there? Please, please, please.
No.
Please, please, please. You're not gonna regret this. I promise. I
No,
promise.
I always regret it. Every time you say
promise.
that, I regret it.
Please,
Every single time.
Please, please,
No.
please.
No.
Oh my goodness. Please, you won't. I'm serious. You will not regret this.
Nope, it's not happening.
It's gonna lead into the intro. Please.
Mm-mm.
Please.
No.
I'm already
You're gonna
recording. I
prank
haven't
me.
even given the intro yet. Please, for the love of all that is holy.
Just give the intro then.
No! It needs to be special. Please.
I keep somehow, and now whenever I press V, I go into autotune, and I literally can't open the thing to stop it. That's what's happening. Like,
Oh.
am I not getting it again?
Uh-oh.
You're auto-tuned again.
Yeah, see, this is fucking bullshit. Can you hear me now? Am I clear?
You're auto-tuned still.
Yeah.
Am I good now?
Yes.
Yes.
But you keep cutting out.
Am I just... Now? When I'm in autotune or now?
You're not in auto-tune now.
Am I cutting out now, though?
No.
Okay, that's all I was looking for. Make sure that I didn't fuck up my actual mic. Okay, I'm good.
I'm so sorry.
And all these voice mod fucking tasks. Let me just uninstall it, because this is bullshit.
Oh, I've tried to uninstall it. It just does not want to go away. It like latched.
Oh no.
Yeah, it latched
You
itself.
should have told me that before.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You asked me, Jeremy. Do you have any other like free like voice modification apps? I'm like, yes, I do have this one. But here's the thing: I won't tell you because I'm an idiot. It will not go away, and it glitches out a lot, and it is very buggy. I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
Uninstalling it.
you
It's still running. I can't uninstall it because it's always running in the background.
okay? How do I close it? It's closed on Task Manager, right? Like you opened up Task Manager and it's closed on there. Sage. Sage, you good? I think voice mod killed her.
Probably.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
There we go.
Hello?
Hi. Yep.
I had to switch. I had to switch back to my other because I was still on the voice phone microphone.
Oh. Oh no. Yeah. Now I remember. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I had to do.
That wasn't fucking useful earlier. When
I'm
I was
sorry.
My fucking auto-tune demon shit, where I was like, and then you guys can't even hear me singing properly. When you guys were like, "Did you just get possessed?" I was singing the Dream song from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but I couldn't
God.
sing it because I kept echoing in myself.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. You're good now, though, right?
Installed it. It's gone now. I'll never have to worry about it again.
You think it's gone? Trust me. You're gonna restart your computer and it's gonna pop up again. That's what happened with me. It always comes back. Anyways, so welcome to this week's podcast, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our little technical difficulties that we had at the beginning. That was purely my fault. I recommended the wrong voice modification. Just software to Sage and like nuked her audio. So yeah, that's a good intro. This week we're gonna be talking about Marvel versus DC, and why don't we introduce ourselves? So I'm Jeremy.
I'm McKenna.
I'm Zach. Fuck, Sage.
Nice.
I'm gonna do that every time, even if Zach isn't here.
Wait,
do some stuff as him.
just take his identity.
Yeah, can we redo the introduction? I'm Zach H, the one that spells his name without an H.
Oh, okay. I'm.
Like him. Oh no, where my Discord go?
All right. I'm Richard then.
So, I'm Jeremy,
No, you can't take my name because I'm here.
but you're Richard.
Oh, yeah. No, it still doesn't work. No, it doesn't work like that.
Mind blown.
Mine absolutely blown wide open. I just fell off a tree.
Or in Minecraft.
Anyways,
While doing the podcast. Wow, distracted.
it's background just stuff happening for people to watch while we talk, okay? All right. I keep falling off the
Switch your
tree.
cameras.
I don't think everybody's comfortable with like face revealing.
Oh, I'm staying as myself with my little PFP, but you still could do faces for people who are comfortable.
But like why do I want them to see my face? Well, you know what? Zach already like did an impromptu face face reveal for me with his Pokemon video. Yeah, I didn't know until I got like like 10 minutes in and I saw my face pop out and I was like, "Oh, that thing is there." Oh, he left that in. He recorded that. Yeah, he showed off my baby Yoda too.
Nice.
Without his consent. I'm still gonna sue him for that. Yeah. Not that he showed.
Video of a child without consent? Oh my god.
That's some
Going
serious.
away for a long time.
Yep, that's some serious jail time right there. No, not that he. I'm not concerned that he showed my face off to the entirety of the internet. No. My my stuffed baby Yoda. That's what I'm concerned about, obviously.
I mean,
Almost face revealed me into my Discord. And like got very close to a photo of my face and I almost went ham on that. I was like, fuck, the whole point of being faceless is to be faceless.
I wait, that was today, right?
Yes, sir.
I remember that. I saw that happening. I was like, oh my goodness.
That was it. That was my face reveal. So it wasn't even my consensual thing. It just happened.
It just happened.
Yeah.
I don't think Zach has even done a face reveal yet. I don't think he has.
Oh, on his stream?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
isn't he doing it for his birthday? Is that what he was saying?
I
Am I
think
allowed
that
to say that?
I think that's what the plan was. Well, this is coming out like probably way after his birthday, so it's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
all
It's
tea.
all good.
It's still all the tea.
Just, actually, like just spilling the tea on top of Zach at this point.
Let's just do the podcast about Zach.
Yeah, I introduced it as Marvel versus DC, and it's like, yep, nope, Zach now.
Dude, let's do Zach versus Zach. There you go. Zach with an H and Zach without an H.
You mean what is it? It's Zach H versus Zach A.
Yeah, there you go.
Zach A. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call him now. I'm not gonna like. He's gonna be like, why are you calling me like Zachy? I'm like, no, it's your acronym, initials. I'm dumb. Don't
Call him Mariah from here on out.
Mariah. Why?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
I haven't talked to him in like 3 weeks, but now
I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him in 3 weeks, but you know what? I'm giving him a nickname now, without his consent. Because why not?
I like how you're putting it in the command blocks section.
it's a command. This is a command. I feel like it matches perfectly.
You're now Team Mariah. I think he's at work. Oh my goodness. What were we doing?
If dog drank paint water, she might die.
Pardon?
My dog was drinking out of my paint water.
Blue?
Like the water I used to clean.
Did Blue drink
Yeah.
out of
Well, her name is Blue. You know, it's about time
What-
she starts, getting her daily dose of paint water.
No, don't.
How else is she gonna turn blue, dude?
No! She should not turn blue. Gosh darn it.
I don't see why not. It fits the name.
That just because okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go there.
You want this? Here you go. You can help this. Here you go.
Yeah, drink the paint water, Blue.
No, it's
No,
no,
dude.
not the
It's a cup
paint
of water. It's a cup of water.
water.
It's a cup of
Not
water.
the paint water.
Oh, it is a cup of paint water.
No. Disclaimer: it is just a cup of normal water.
Paint.
Poison. Oh my god.
I know I yelled at you earlier.
You ever just casually drink paint water?
Yeah, all the
All the
time.
time.
Okay, I did not expect that response.
Together.
Shots of paint water, please.
It's bonding. Oh my god, my friend did a shot of just what is it? Like movie theater popcorn butter.
What?
And
I
my
did
friend
that.
just yeah, you did. Yeah, you and then our
There's
two
a
other
video
friends
of
did
me
it,
doing
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Why though?
I don't know, it was for Friendsgiving. I don't remember how we got onto it, but a group of us did it. I didn't do it, but a couple other people did.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to get on top of like a shot glass of like movie pop. Well, I just killed my own joke. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna leave the podcast now and forever.
Alright. Me and Sage will liven it up a bit, so it's
Yeah.
Liven it up. Excuse me. I'm the entertainment here.
Hey, McKenna, how have you been?
great.
McKenna, darling, how are you?
Sage, you smell really nice.
I dislike this greatly.
Better when you're sleeping.
Stop! No!
Sage,
God!
you look really swell when you sleep.
You look, even though we're in a VC. No, I ruined the joke!
You're asleep, I like just come in your room because of your aura.
Sometimes I like to come in there and just like.
Whoa,
Whoa,
Whoa! Whoa!
Phone!
Both Sage and I heard that. That's amazing.
That's
Whoa.
not what I was saying.
Joke is over. Joke, I don't consent to this
Joke
anymore,
is,
okay?
joke is over. Not funny.
Oh my
Didn't
God.
laugh.
Alright, I'll just.
You'll just what, huh? What are you gonna do?
Jesus Christ.
This is cyberbullying.
Cyberbully me, please.
That doesn't
You
sound
can
right.
sit on me any day.
No! No! God, please no. Anyways, so let's talk about the topic, please.
Oh yeah.
Don't oh yeah me. You know you were you know what you were doing. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, first off, before we pull out the verbal brass knuckles, Marvel or
Let's
DC?
pull out the actual brass knuckles.
Oh, wait, we don't condone violence here. This is
Oh.
this is.
I literally thought about doing that. Oh my
Why? God. Oh my goodness.
god.
Anyways,
Okay.
all right, preference: Marvel or DC?
Marvel. Duh.
Sage.
She cannot hear now.
Why for art thou muted? Did you server mute her? No, she's just regular muted. She's typing in the command blocks. Come back, I miss you. Oh my goodness. Well, for me, it's Marvel as well. I like Marvel and DC though, but preference towards Marvel.
DC, baby.
What was that?
I'm DC.
You are?
Yeah, I'm a DC bitch.
All right, this is awkward. You're gonna need to leave right now. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it's a little.
Oh, no. Wait, are you both Marvel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but are you going off for movies or like what? Because like
Movies and comics.
Marvel,
Everything.
I was saying because Marvel beats out movies for sure. Because DC does pretty shitty movies, other than like Dark Knight. But like DC has always outstanded its TV series, and the comics are older, which is what gives me my appreciative tag towards it. But
DC's just like it's so dark, you know.
exactly.
Like,
that's
well,
what
yeah.
Marvel is more like lighthearted and like relatable and like it's funny and like it's like
But,
they're
the
like feel good
Flash-
stuff.
The
Yeah.
Flash is the Flash is like one of the most comedic characters out there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like heroes wise.
See, I like DC and Marvel. I have a preference towards Marvel though. I don't know why. It's just because like I don't know. I like the characters, I guess, a little bit more. But I really like DC because of the dark side to it.
I feel like DC has the stronger villain arcs, like because DC's issue is it replays the same tropes, like because it started like superheroes came really from like DC started that whole like comic book thing, and they found a trope that works and then copied it for all of their heroes. Like they all have the same story, but like the villain arcs in it, like that's where I feel like DC thrives. While Marvel puts out amazing like hero development, I feel like it's vice versa where
DC does
Marvel's villains fall more bland, while DC heroes fall more bland. But the villains are like
if you could mix both of them, that'd be amazing. Just like no, yeah, I think that's why I like DC, just because I'm more of a villain person, to be honest. So I really love DC for that reason. But then like Marvel, I'm like, ooh, these are some pretty appealing like heroes. And then I see their villains, I'm like, but like why? And also I always constantly get flack for being like, you know what? Thanos had the right idea, but like to be honest, why did he not just create infinite amount? Well, actually no. Okay. I'm going to go on a little tangent real quick. There's a reason why Thanos didn't just make infinite amount of resources for everybody, because if it's pretty much like what, to quote The Incredibles, like what Syndrome said, where if everybody's a super, then if everybody's like unique, then no one's gonna be. So it's like if everybody has resources, then everything's gonna come to a standstill, which is both good and bad. There's a trade-off with it. So I get why he didn't do that, like why he can't really do that. But he didn't have to go killing everybody. That's just like the homicidal, psychopathic, sociopath side of him that just wants murder and death.
told a guy like a movie that was like strictly Thanos' perspective without any of the perspective of the heroes, because I feel like it would have been spinned in a way that he would become almost an anti-hero. Like you kind of root for him, but you know he's not necessarily in the right because I feel like his morals was so out of like all Marvel, like I'm gonna say it's like very loosely, like Marvel heroes, I felt like they tried to give Thanos the most depth in the movies than the other villains you see through. Other than like Bucky, because I guess Bucky, like, and they do it with Loki too, where they spin them into like redeemable characters.
Mm-hmm.
But like with Thanos, they don't spin him into a redeemable character because there's already quality traits that made you humanize him. Is that it?
Yeah.
That you don't really see. He wasn't like a flat static character that had one purpose, and like this is one thing I don't like about how Marvel did the Spider-Man movies, but I don't mind Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's a good, like, he definitely is the most youthful out of them and brings in the more humor side of it. But like what Sony, I think it's Sony did it first that had control of the first two, where they didn't make those villains were yeah, okay, yeah. So they didn't make their characters, like, the villains, and I think Peter Parker, they made him more as a rounded character, which Marvel does this if it's not careful about it, because they've also done this with a lot of, like, they did it with the ending with Steve Rogers, where they kind of ruined the roundness of a character and, like, cut it off and make them more flat, because they don't want to explore those, like, DC does it where they don't want to explore the lighter parts of characters. Marvel doesn't really try to explore as much as the darker side of characters.
Them. Yeah.
Like they touch base occasionally. Like they lightly touched base with Tony Stark and his PTSD, but like DC would have ran with that and like really showed you the dark side of PTSD. But with like Marvel, since they try and keep them more lighthearted, they like kind of wanted to keep that flamboyant, millionaire kind of guy. And like not explore like the more darker sides of him until the very end when they're like he did the greatest sacrifice, I guess.
But he didn't have to. But he didn't have to kill himself, though. To be honest, he really didn't.
Yeah, no. People think so. Have you heard the theory between him and Captain America, like Steve Rogers? Have you heard about that theory?
Which one?
At all? About how Tony actually sacrificed his life in the snap to bring Steve back to life. Have you heard about any of that?
No, I have not. This is interesting.
So,
what?
In the final battle, you see Steve Rogers and Thanos 1v1, and that's the last you see of Steve Rogers up until the end. Because you see Thanos, like, literally pummel him into the ground. And take out Steve Rogers is like a Superman, whatever, but he's still human. And there was no viable way he would have survived the, like, fucking pounding that Thanos gave him. Because it is a human with some strength. Like, don't get me wrong, he's strong and all that stuff, but he's not, like, necessarily, like...
He's not like the Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's this theory that came up that they think Tony, when he did the snap, did a sacrifice in which he himself would not survive it, but Steve would come back. Because we only see Steve up until the point where he's, like... People think he was murdered by Thanos, and then you don't see him at all until the end when there's the deleted scene where everyone bows to that's the other scene before like the end, like he goes back in time and stuff. So there's this theory that came out that they think Tony actually pulled like the ultimate sacrifice, because there's that whole like you won't do the sacrifice play.
It was like a soul stone kind of sacrifice essentially is what he did.
Like a flip. Because there's also this whole thing where you could tell Tony Stark was like he was done himself, you know, you could see that the lifestyle he was living, it was coming to an end just in general. So they were like, people kind of think it was like he knew he was coming to an end, so he wanted to give someone else their chance to start again kind of idea.
Yeah.
So.
Dang. And that would make more sense as to why he did that. Because like thinking about it, like there's so many other characters that were there that could have taken the gauntlet and survived that snap. But it's just like that.
I think Captain Marvel would have been fine.
Yeah.
I feel like she could have.
Captain Marvel, Thor could have done that. Doctor Strange could have done that. There's like so many characters that were there.
Like the people with like mystical abilities that like are genuinely like not just like they made the human out of all of them do it. Like the one human really that had like no other like abilities, and they made him do it.
The one like reasonably mortal person because like you can't
Yeah.
say that like Captain America is essentially mortal. Well, he is mortal, but like he lives for a extremely long time just because of the serum. And same thing goes for Bucky and I guess not War Machine, but like yeah.
Yeah, War Machine's human, and so is Oh my God, who's the other one there? There's War Machine, and then there's the other one. Who's the other one? That becomes he gives him the shield at the end. Did you say him? What is it? Falcon, whatever.
Oh yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
his
yeah,
name
yeah.
is.
Falcon,
And he's also like,
Black Panther,
yeah,
Scarlet Witch. I guess
yeah,
she could have done that too.
yeah. But oh yeah, and then there's this that other thing. If we're gonna talk about that movie, at the end credit where you see, or not the end credit, the end where you see Steve as an old man.
Hmm.
They, I guess, originally planned for that to be Stan Lee as a way to loop Stan Lee full circle as a cameo of the idea that Cap would come back because he was old
Yeah.
and check up on everyone, but he knew he couldn't interfere
Oh.
because the like timeline wouldn't work out. So they were supposed to, but they didn't. They decided not to CGI him as a way to respect Stan Lee because that was like, they didn't want to like just dishonor him with a CGI copy. So they did like had the Chris Evans come back in a old man suit. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
I guess that was the original plan as
And
a
that
way
would
to
have
full circle it.
and that would have made like perfect sense as to why there was so many cameos of Stan Lee. That would have been like perfect, but he passed away before then, which is sad.
Yeah.
Also, just hats off to Stanley including himself in his own comics as like a separate being. Like he pretty much did the thing that like everybody who would create like some sort of universe, just like they're like, you know what? I'm gonna include myself just because why not? I made this, so I can do whatever I want with it. Like Jesus Christ, like that man was amazing.
Absolute legend, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, oh man, makes me sad. What a legend. Ew, my mic's being okay. Fix it. Okay, so subverted. Very good. But yeah, that was.
We should talk about DC a little bit because
I will say, DC. I think one of the biggest differences between Marvel and DC is that DC really uses its sidekicks. We don't really see sidekicks in Marvel at all.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of one legit like Peter. They kind of forced Peter Parker into a Iron Man sidekick kind of duo.
And then he eventually became
like,
his own hero.
Yeah, but DC has oh my god, I'm really biased towards DC because my all-time favorite hero and sidekick are Batman, and then I love the Robins. Like because I know I like the individual Robin stories because they take their time. Like the heroes have very like similar tropes, and it's usually a loved one dies, they avenge them, and they become heroes. That is the like trope for DC, but their sidekick stories. Like they do some dope ass sidekick stories.
They go
and, like,
very in
character
depth.
development with it. Yes, like for like characters that are just normally side pieces, like the Robins, like Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim. Like all of them have like
Tim
such
Drake.
interesting stories. Yeah. The like it's so like you don't really see that like development in Marvel with their side characters more. So like you kind of do. I guess because you can say like friends and stuff, like Ned for Peter, like Ned's his kind of sidekick and stuff like that. But you don't learn anything about and MJ kind of like goes between a sidekick kind of role to like a girlfriend kind of role. She kind of bounces between two for the Marvel rendition of her and like Pepper and stuff like that. Like those are all kind of like
And that
if you
Pepper,
want to push it,
she eventually became her own hero though.
yeah. But like you don't really learn any like too much about them other than like face value stuff at all. You know, like they just kind of like are like they have this skill and it helps our hero. Like you don't learn really too much in depth of them at all.
Yeah, and pretty much like their sidekicks are they just eventually become their own different like group of heroes, like New Avengers, the Defenders. They just become their own separate group and don't eventually like stay a sidekick. Where in DC, like, well, not as like they eventually do in DC as well, I guess, but like they still have that arc of them becoming a hero, where it's kind of like an upgrade.
The Young Justice and
Oh my god,
Young
yes.
Justice is a good one of that. Like in like the Teen Titans and stuff like that, where you see
God,
them interact
the
with their
Teen
mentor
Titans.
still. It isn't just bro. I
Teen
love Teen
Titans.
Titans so
Oh my
much.
god. Like Teen Titans is probably one of the best like versions of psychics becoming heroes, because it's like an internship program essentially for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just like they that.
McKenna knows.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Was it?
McKenna knows me and Chloe sometimes go on these rants where we'll pull them with like the weirdest fucking videos, and we'll watch like Robin X Raven, like really
Yeah.
weird fucking videos on YouTube, like, and we'll be like rocking out to the, it's like AMVs or whatever, like the music videos they make for the song, and then clips from the TV, and it'll be like Robin X Starfire, like Beast Boy X Raven, and we'll like watch,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I
yeah,
just say?
yeah.
Can I just say? I hate Teen Titans Go so much.
Oh
I
my
They
god,
ruined
yeah.
it.
abhor it so
Absolutely
much.
ruined it.
Yes, they did. Oh my god. Like,
That's just straight disrespect on the OG Teen Titans.
mhm.
For real.
I
I feel like
love.
the era of Teen Titans and Avatar: The Last Airbender were apex cartoon generation, because those were
Yeah.
two cartoons that like held so much like deeper meaning and shit that they were like, Teen Titans Go, let's just get rid of all of it. And I'm like, oh my god, they actually made these characters complex in a way that like, yeah, like you look back at it, right, and you rewatch and you're like, this is definitely a child show, but you're like, you can understand the deeper values on it that even you as a kid could pick up on. Then
Oh
you
yeah,
like
for
Teen Titans
sure.
Go and you don't pick up on any of it at
They
all.
took
There's
out
just
they
nothing
t-
there.
they took out the depth and like meaning and development of the characters and replaced them with fart jokes.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, and even the villains. Like, they downplay the villains so much, and the villains are just
God,
jokes and that.
didn't Deathstroke come out on there? I remember seeing like a clip or something somewhere that like Richard showed me. And he's like, "Look what they did! They did my man dirty. They did Slade so dirty with this." And I saw that and I was like, "You have to be kidding me!" Like he looks like a little goblin mutant. I can't see that as Slade.
Bro, yeah, Slade was my all-time. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I used to
God.
be so attracted to his voice.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Like, I can still, because I haven't seen that show in so long. I've been meaning to revisit it, but
I can still hear it.
But I can literally picture the voice. I can picture like specific scenes, like when he makes Robin convert into his apprentice. Like, oh my god, and he has like the antibodies, or at the very end where he helps Robin get to Raven, like on the last episode, like Child Raven. Like, I just still picture all that shit because that like character had me so invested. I didn't even know that was Deathstroke. I only knew him as Slade.
I know.
know.
And that's his first name. Like after looking that up, I'm like, oh my god, like Jesus, like that's his actual name. I thought that was just like his nickname, but no, that's Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah.
And like his relationship with Robin, like just it having it in the show is one thing, but like it's also in the comics, which is like interesting that they included that into the show. It's like it's not just like just in the show. It's there's like reason why they had that in there. It's
Like, it kind of shows that, because Slade and Teen Titans really mimics Robin in the sense that Robin could have easily become Slade. Like, they are not that different on that, like, you know, like the paranoia front we see Robin drop into, where he's imagining Slade everywhere and shit, and you see him going down that route.
That one episode where he's like Slade is in his head the whole time.
Yeah, he doesn't think Slade's dead.
Yeah.
Or you see him become Red X for that same reason. He pretends to be Red X as a way to, like, I think further the pursuit of it, and people are like, what? You're becoming the villain. Like, you don't see that in kids' shows anymore. That, like, paranoia, and, like, you're seeing your hero become the anti-hero in front of your eyes, and you're like, no, what are you doing? Like, come back.
Like, God, he really messed up Robin, though. Like, real bad. Because just, like, how absolutely manipulative do you have to be to, like, make someone fear you to the degree that they're constantly picturing you and, like, questioning your like, every movement and, like, if you're alive or not. Like, Jesus Christ, he really got into Robin's head. And, like, that psychological, like, trauma that they show in that single episode is just, it's insane. It's really good, though.
I was so upset because they released a live action like last year called Titans,
I saw
which
it.
was
Yeah.
like the same grouping of characters, and I was so disappointed at what they did with Deathstroke. I was really disappointed in it, and like how that interaction worked between them, and like they also kind of the only interesting part I liked it was about with his son Jericho. I liked that plot line of you see the heroes use Jericho to get to Deathstroke, even though Jericho was innocent throughout it all, and ends up resulting in him dying. Like that idea of like going too far. That was like one of the only redeemable moments in that show of like real character death, because the rest of the show was also like it felt like a live action Teen Titans Go, where they're just like banking off of these characters but not really giving them thought at all. They just are like, this is Robin, like you're gonna love him, like, at all. The only like interesting, I want to say, interaction between characters was maybe Dick Grayson and Jason Todd interacted a lot of that, like Dick Grayson was like still holding on to being Robin even though he wasn't Robin anymore, and then he met Jason Todd who was the replacement, and he was like, what the fuck, like, okay, Batman just fucking replaced me. That was the only interesting like character dynamic. The rest of them were all kind of like, yeah. Like, oh my god, they ruined, oh my god, what's Raven's dad's name? Trigon.
Trigon?
They ruined Trigon in that show. Completely. First season,
Yeah.
he has 2 episodes in the end of the first season, and all that happens is Raven walks out, she's like, meh, and her hair goes from straight to curly, and then she walks away. That's the ending. Like, they don't show any world domination, nothing. All the Titans get, like, white eyes, they're, like, staring off in space, and Raven's like, bye, Dad, bye, and, like, done. Like, there was no... All the way from Titans, like Teen Titans, when they had that whole Trigon altercation.
The
like,
Trigon arc
bro,
was just like freaking
yes,
insane. I
12-year-old
love
me,
that.
like, 12-year-old me, like, pissed myself when Raven was like, you are not my dad. My friends raised me. They are my family. Like, the monks of Athri... Oh my god, I won't remember. The monks of...
Azeroth?
Azeroth. Like, they protected me. Like, that whole moment, like, permanent. And then you go to Titans, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why would you make that the first season villain? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, they built
like,
up to Trigon
what?
in Teen Titans. They built up to him. Like,
You always knew there was a big bad, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like he was always pulling the strings behind everyone's back, and it's like you're focusing on like the main villains that they're fighting with now, and then like you get those snippets of like what's happening in the background. It's just like it's always in the back of your head, like, dang, when's this guy gonna come out? When's Trigon gonna eventually like show his face? And it's just like you're that like it's that like pause of you. It's pretty much what Marvel was trying to do when they were setting up with Thanos with all those little teasers of him. It's like, you know, this dude is here, you don't know when he's gonna come out. It's just like eventually something's gonna happen, like shit's gonna hit the fan and he's gonna have to pop out eventually. It's just shows don't really have that anymore, especially like like hero shows. Jesus.
Oh, like kids shows too, man. Like, oh my god, that was, and you see like Raven's interaction throughout the series of like, you know, she's afraid of something. Like, you could pick up that she was afraid of something, and they would not release it until her arc came to its end, pretty much. Of like, you finally figure, like, I felt like throughout the show, for like Teen Titans specifically, you watch this Raven character and you're like, why is she so closed off? You know nothing about her past at all. Like, the rest of the characters, you learn bits and pieces of their past throughout it.
Yeah.
And then
pretty
you
early
catch
on too.
this character, yeah, and you just like nothing, face value. You learn a little bit about the monks. I think in like one episode, you kind of get into her character depth when you get in the episode of she splits off into the like they go into her mind and it's like the different versions of like Raven, but like nothing up until like the big finale. They throw it on you, and you're like, holy shit! Oh yeah. So Young Justice too, like same thing. They also excelled with. I was so upset they canceled it. I think they're bringing it back actually. If I read it somewhere, but I was so sad they canceled it. So I was so into that show because they did the same thing. They did such good like characters, like for like doing justice towards not only the like the Titans and the like the apprentices or the sidekicks, but like the big guys too, like the actual Justice League. Like their cameos were always spot on, and like actually it wasn't just like banking. I hate when shows just bank off of their like heroes,
like their status.
Like, well, exactly, right, and like not giving any sort of like oh, this is like why we should respect them. It's just the fact of like, well, you know their names, so respect
Yeah.
them. They're infinite, like
Batman is Batman. You respect Batman. It's like, but why? Like, why?
right?
Why can't I talk back to him? It's like because he's gonna actually like kick your
Yeah.
ass.
And like I remember like it sits in my head like you learn in Young Justice is like the first time like in a TV series where they successfully, I feel like in my opinion, successfully revisit Dick Grayson's past in a way of like him going back to the circus where his like parents were from. And it's one of the few like it's one of the most like heart wrenching moments of like because like no one else knows that that's like Hadley Circus is like where it all happened, and like you get to see that character depth too, and it gives you that second of like I feel like a lot of shows forget that like these are kids. Like the Titans made them all adults, which is weird. But like Young Justice, especially the first season, really pushes that it's like these are kids, and like these are kids with a lot of fucked up trauma. And like Young Justice does, I mean, Teen Titans also does it very successfully, where it reminds you that they're younger. But like, and then you catch shows that like try and bank on these characters, but they're like, let's make them older so that they can have very interesting romantic relationships with each other.
And it's like
they
they
wink, wink,
like
nudge, nudge.
yeah,
like,
and Teen Titans show that like you don't really need that. Like you can have like
yeah,
sexual tension, I guess, but like it's in a subtle way, I guess, if you want to like
yeah. You can tell
have
they're
it there.
kid crushes on each other.
Yeah.
Like it's kids that have gone through the same shit, and it's not like thrown in your face. Titans, the first season of Titans, Robin and Starfire get together like right off the bat, and it was like one of the
That's
most,
how
like,
it opens up.
like yeah, it's literally like the first like I think it's almost like the third episode or whatever. They like bone in a
Oh,
hotel room.
Why?
Like
Their relationship
yes, they,
is not like
because
that though.
no, they like bone in a hotel room, and they also aged them both up. So they don't meet. They meet when they're both full grown like adults. Like this is way past Dick Grayson has left Batman. Like Starfire has the same exact arc. Like she's been kicked from her home. The only difference is that she cannot remember where she's from. The first like half of the season, Starfire has no clue who she is. But the, like full grown adults, like they keep Raven a child, and they keep like kind of like a teenager. Like she's like I want to say she's like 15 in the show, and they introduce Beast Boy or like Garfield as a like teenager too, even though the actors are like look older.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have Dick Grayson and Starfire as adults in it that bone right off the bat, and I'm like, bro, like any sort of situation with Robin and Starfire, like Dick Grayson and Starfire, there is so much build up for that. And any sort of thing they're in together, they never throw them in right off the bat, like at all. It's not how it works here. Like hold up, like you're the only people doing this, and it's only for like, cause like I feel like they're both like, in any of the shows they're in together. Like it's never about like sexual tension between the two that drives them together at all. But that's strictly what it is in Titans, and it was like the most disrespectful thing to do to those characters. Of like.
Yeah, because their arcs are so complex.
Yes, and I'm like, they're like, Robin's like, I'm gonna bone Starfire because Starfire are hot. Like, haha. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
That's not how he
like,
thinks.
Like, Starfire's not going around either, like, dressing skimpily to, like, get his attention, but that's not how she runs in that show, or, like, that episode specific. And I'm like, bro, you forget, this is a princess of a whole other alien thing. That is not on her mind at all. Like, that is not how her society functions at all. That is not how she's raised. Like, you not forget, this is a person who's been in pristine wealth, like, high status. Like, it's one of the interesting about hers is that she's very, like, proper for her species, even if it doesn't click properly with like the human species when you see in shows of her, but she is very proper. But like Titans was like, no. No, she's a horny girl. An evil bone hot dude. Like, what?
Okay, but like you look at Robin though, like, can you really blame her?
Dick Grayson is like my DC crush, and if I could get with any Robin, Dick Grayson, and like my heart. Nightwing? Oh yeah, Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing 10 times more attractive.
but like
Yes.
but like Red Hood though, like come on.
Oh, Red Hood is also a good one. I do like me a misunderstood villain.
I do like me a dead person. No, wait, that sounds so wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I didn't. It didn't mean it like that. I promise. I promise.
Failure confirmed, Pog.
God. Anyways,
Oh.
what about Marvel shows? Because we've been talking about DC for a little bit. Let's switch back and forth.
Mhm.
Um, have you guys watched any of like the Marvel TV shows, animated or not?
No.
No.
No. Not really, no.
No.
Okay, to be honest, I haven't either. I I I don't know why.
There was
I was
one that
hoping.
there was like one big one that it was Agents of
Agents of
Shield
Shield.
was like the big TV show. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a big
That
one.
one
But
that one
like
had a lot of like added like I had to read up on some stuff in there just because there were some references to it I think in the movies, and like looking back, like they added a lot of stuff. It's like this is like totally random, but it's pretty much what the new studio that took on Halo is what they're doing, where they're using outside, like the main games have some lore in them, yeah, but now they're including lore, deeper lore that should be really interesting and should be in the games. They're including it in like comic books and like external media that's not really necessarily like referenced in the games, and then they add them back into the games, which is really weird how they're doing that. And I feel like Marvel is starting to do that with their TV shows, and like it's interesting, but like you have to advertise like this kind of stuff is important, because then when you introduce it in the movies, it's going to be confusing for the audience that mainly only watches the movies. So it's like with WandaVision, not a lot of people are gonna watch WandaVision who like compared to the people that watch the movies, it's not gonna be a significant amount of like enough audience. There's gonna be a couple people that watch it. I mean, like I'm watching it, and it's really interesting. But if they introduce whatever happens in there in the movies, it's gonna be very confusing for a lot of people, and I know that for sure.
it's a
Because
Marvel TV show. Actually, by the way, I just looked it up. They are Marvel.
what is
Just so you know.
Agents of Shield?
I watched. No. I watched Cloak and Dagger, which are
Oh
two
yeah,
Marvel
no,
characters.
yes,
They did a TV show that, which I liked, but they changed a lot between those. They completely just swapped their backstory and didn't even go with comic backstory at all. But that one was okay. That one was an okay TV show. I watched it all. I didn't mind it, but they did like go off. Like they didn't even do their whole entire backstory. They didn't even do. They
damn,
did like completely off, and like a lot of like with Cloak and Dagger, like they take out a lot of what they need with each other. They do this whole idea that they're paralleled, like they're like opposites. They're the same, but they're opposites, right? So they have the same struggle or whatever, which is pretty interesting. But they take out this whole idea that like Cloak needs Dagger and Dagger needs Cloak to like function and survive. They take out that concept of like Cloak needs Dagger's like light or whatever her thing to stay like functioning. His like whole scheme of like he requires her to like rejuvenate him in a way. Doesn't even come up in the show at all, and they barely play around with the idea of her being able to go into his like alternate dimension within his cloak up until like the very end of the first season, and then they canceled the show, so you don't see any of it afterwards.
dang.
Yeah. So, but that one was an okay TV show that had potential, but I think a lot of people saw it and then just didn't like that they didn't follow a lot of what Cloak and Dagger like require.
Accurate lore.
They only bring up they only bring up like pretty much the only thing they keep consistent is that Cloak has a cloak he uses, which by the way they turn into a hoodie in the show, not even a cloak.
No, that was like the whole
yeah,
appeal. That's why he looked cool. Dang it.
Because they start with the cloak. Is this whole idea of like he has the cloak, like a cloak type thing, and he uses it to transport and stuff, and then it gets destroyed, and he finds out he can transport and teleport without it, and so he has a hoodie now that he uses
To become
and
more
that's it.
modernized, I guess, if you want to say that. Like,
Yes, and with Cloak or with Dagger, they only bring in her light daggers. They don't bring anything about her being able to like draw out life force or anything like that at all.
that's
They
whack.
only bring out that she can bring up a showy dagger. Like that's her whole shtick at all. And again, there's no interaction between those two. Like, in all, there's no interaction between those two. They only touch base on that Cloak can successfully go in and out of, or that Dagger can successfully go in and out of Cloak's cloak. That's it. They really don't bring up anything else between the interactions at all. And like they make them romantic interests and stuff like that, like they are in the show. But it's
Mhm.
like it's weird. It's kind of a weird like
Interpretation of
retelling
them.
that. Yeah, because I watched it first and I didn't know any of the backstory between them or their like origin, and
Mhm.
I was like, this is pretty dope. And then I looked up the origin and stuff. I was like, yeah, if I was a fan of these two characters, I would be kind of peeved. Like, this is not right.
Oh God, there was another show that did that. Legion. Is such an interesting show. I did not know anything on Legion. Legion is also technically Marvel. It's X-Men. Um, but Legion is Professor Xavier's son. He's one of the most like powerful mutants that's in Marvel. And watching the show at first, I got through the first season and I was like, dang, like the whole like psychological aspects to this show and like everything that's going on in his head, just literally every single aspect of that show, I was like drawn into it and I was like, God, I love this. And then I started looking more into Legion and I was like, same thing with Cloak and Dagger. They were like they kind of like skewed off of his like they got some stuff accurately, but it's just like a weird interpretation of the character that I don't feel that they're really doing justice to him. And it's just I'm like interested that Marvel is going with their more like smaller array of heroes in these TV shows and introducing them that way. But come on, there are some like smaller quote unquote smaller heroes within their arsenal that like if I see an interpretation of them, like I know them and I see an interpretation that's like half baked, I'm gonna be pretty pissed off to be honest. Which is why I'm very like tentative to them like introducing Moon Knight because I love Moon Knight and I don't want them to screw up the character. I'm like, come on, he's so interesting. He's just got so much. He's connected to so many different characters. Like you can easily introduce him into like the MCU. But don't screw him up for the love of all that is holy. Don't screw him up, please. Just come on. Do that one at least like good justice. God. I will say I love Deadpool. That was random.
Oh, yeah. Deadpool is such a good. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's a really Well, that's a good one. That's one of the shows where you can't have.
Oh,
good.
No, you go ahead.
I was saying that's definitely a show where you can't get another actor to play Deadpool.
Oh
like,
no.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
He is Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah, there's just like no other way you can like. I literally cannot see anybody. It's the same thing with like how people say Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. It's kind of like that. I can kind of see some people maybe taking up the mantle eventually, but right now I can't unsee Hugh Jackman as Wolverine really.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty much, I'm like that with most of the X-Men, honestly. Like the OG
oh my God,
X-Men,
yes.
like those actors, like that's
Even,
oh my God. Like Logan, that movie broke my heart.
Oh my God,
all
yes.
The X-Men were gone.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And then seeing
I
how
was
Professor
not
X, the
prepared.
state that he was in, I just saw that and I was like, God, I forgot how depressing this comic was. Jesus Christ.
I was annoyed that we went from a movie like that and then we went into the new X-Men ones with like the young characters and I felt like they kind of disregarded a lot of characters and shit in there.
Mhm.
Where I was like, I don't know. Like the one with like I don't mind those movies. I'm talking about like Dark Phoenix and shit like that.
Yeah. Okay, but like Michael Fassbender as the new Magneto, let's be honest, like that, I really like him as the new Magneto, to be honest.
Oh, me too. I am cool with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely aspects I like, but there was definitely like I don't know. I feel like
it was a good
I
choice.
think they forgot character tropes. Yeah.
God, I really. Okay, I am so excited for WandaVision just for the reason that they can use this to introduce the X-Men back into the MCU properly. Where oh my God, if they do this right, I really want to see like Magneto like in there, like see oh my God, Magneto versus like Iron Man would have been like such a one-way fight, but I would have loved to watch that because it would have just been funny to watch him like just just start controlling him like a puppet, essentially, and just like crush him like a tin can. That would have just been hilarious and heartbreaking, just seeing him get like absolutely brutally beaten down. Because Magneto is insanely strong. He's insanely
Take
strong.
back what I said about Marvel not being able to do dark character story arcs.
Doctor Doom
Oh my
and
god,
Magneto.
X-Men. Oh, I was
Oh
gonna say,
my
if you
goodness.
take, okay, if we separate MCU writing to X-Men writing, X-Men excels at it also, of getting these characters, like, some, like, dark background, and, like, Muslim, even Wolverine is seen as, like, an anti-hero at some points, where you're like, God, this guy's, like, a douche, like, why do I like this dude? Like, in some of those stories, you just are like, Wolverine is not, like, the good guy, per se, in this, so, like, but yeah,
It
I
blurs the line.
I retract that statement. Yeah, I retract that. If we're talking about X-Men for Marvel, I retract it because X-Men they did good character backstory for those characters. I retract it. The MCU, but my X-Men for sure.
God, can I just say though, I love and I hate Jean Grey, like so much. Like Phoenix is just such an amazing like villain, but every time I see her in the movies, I have to hate her for some reason because I'm like, you kill so many good characters. I just have to dislike you so much. Like Thanos killed a lot of people, but I'm like, you know what? I'll give the purple thumb a thumbs up. Like he's pretty cool. Like he's a lovable villain. But like I just hate Phoenix because of like I got really attached to the X-Men. So attached to them. And like seeing Cyclops get murked, I was just like, fuck. Why him? Why him? Like of all the people you could have killed, like Cyclops, really? God. And she messed with like Wolverine so much. It's just like,
Yeah.
She's a very good villain,
think,
though. Very good villain. God.
Yes, I do think X-Men has this issue where sometimes throughout the movies, consistent character traits don't stick around at all.
That's
do you
true,
see
yeah.
it with Raven or like Mystique? Same kind of deal with me, where you go from one movie and you're like, solid, she's amazing, redeemed, whatever, and the next movie it's just done. Like Mystique got fucked over every other movie. She was like bad guy, good guy, which I don't mind, but they just like really did not know how to like consistently make that a good like anti-hero like arc for her of like she's not a good person per se, because they'd be like bad, good, bad, middle, good. Like they didn't do good, and I feel like they did the same with Jean Grey. Some of her character traits just did not stick at all. Like the interpretation of her character, I think that's why, because I have kind of the same deal where I'm like, I either love Jean Grey in a movie or I hate Jean Grey in a movie. And I think that's why, is because you don't get the same, like, characters change throughout, like, a series because they're growing or whatever. But I think it was writing kind of did her dirty sometimes of just, like, you would meet a Jean Grey that was a brand new
She was
Jean
one-dimensional.
Grey. Like, the, like, aspects. Yes.
Yeah,
and,
every
like,
single other movie.
It never clicked right. Yeah, it was just like, you never met the same Jean Grey, and the growth never happened. Same with Mystique. Mystique's growth never, like, happened at all. They tried to redeem her in Dark Phoenix, like, kind of. Or yeah, like, kind of.
It was Dark Phoenix, yeah.
And, like, I like, adore Mystique, and I liked Mystique because, like, for a good chunk of it, I love this idea of she was like, I'm not a hero. Like, I don't want the praise. I love that arc for her. But they kind of would, like, flip-flop it a lot. Where it was just, like... It was weird. I felt like they didn't keep her character consistent with the growth that the character should have had to make that redemption towards the end seem legit. It didn't seem legit to me. It seemed like a good, like, last minute, let's, like, make her memorable, Tony Stark kind of moment. Like, disgraceful death that makes us miss her. Because that death... Can we, like, please get justice for Mystique? That death was stupid.
It was.
Because, like, even the, like Cyclops' death, like, that was a heart tug. Like, he died by his love. Like, you know it's going downhill when he's, like, he's fucked, and you're like, But then they're like,
I had that in my mind the entire
Mystique's
time.
gonna get fucking pulled. Like, what?
Like, the entire time, I had that in my mind while watching Dark Phoenix. I was like, Cyclops is gonna die. I was like, not again. I watched it in the originals. I don't want to watch it again. And then, like, seeing it happen, I was like, damn it, every time. It's like, why does it hurt so much? It's because like they really make you like love his character, and it's just like the way that he dies is very heart wrenching. But yeah, they really did Mystique dirty. I don't like that at all.
Oh yeah, they just didn't. It was such a cheapskate kind of death that was just like we gotta kill her off. And
They
I'm
didn't
sure they were
have
trying do it
to.
like
They didn't
But,
have to.
like, I know, right? And I'm sure they were trying. I'm sure they were thinking like we're gonna do an abrupt, like, oh my god, like kind of mundane almost death of like her getting like pierced through. Like, you know, like you think Mystique is this huge like redemption death kind of thing, and we're not gonna do that. But it just didn't click right. It didn't seem like a good. It didn't lead up right to that like. Like, you know, because I think they're trying to show morality through, or mortality through her, of like, even though Jean Grey can like shapeshift, Mystique can like shapeshift and stuff, Mystique is still human, you know, for the most part. Like, Mystique still holds human-like qualities that makes her vulnerable in situations against, like, the Dark Phoenix. But, like, it was just a moment of, like, what? Like, no, this is not.
Like this.
Hold up.
It can't be like that. It was just like it was too quick. It didn't give us time to react really.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was like glossed over and like.
They're like, she's dead.
Like,
okay, continue.
Right? And you catch like Marvel or not Marvel. X-Men does like to do like the abrupt like they're gone. You know, you don't really get much. Like they did it with
closure. You don't get closure
earlier
with them,
movies too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, they didn't really do that with her because it was just, like, movie done, you know? Like, oh, that's it. Like, you don't get that, like, oh, God. Because a lot of the times it's successful because you don't get closure, and you know the characters don't get closure, and you see the dark sides of the job. Like, you don't always get closure when you're going against these big bads, and, like, you see
People
the
die.
mistakes that come with.
It happens.
Right?
Yeah.
But, like, with Mystique, it just was, like, it was so cheap, in my opinion. It was just a cheap death.
Yeah.
Of, like, it didn't really contribute.
Because, like, the appeal to that quick death that comes with the X-Men, it's because they're like the Marines of the superhero world. They're out there constantly just fighting against, like, everything. They're just always out there. And that, like, I guess, like, it's showing their mortality. They always show it, like, people die every single day, including us, even though we have superhuman powers. When we're dead, we're dead. That's it.
Like, Darwin's death in
like, First Class.
His death, yes, his death was a perfect example of just instant mortality reminder. Like, this is a big, big bad. He's gone. Like, you go from, like, a relax, like, they're hanging out, to, like, Darwin is done. Like, and that's, like,
I didn't expect
you think
that.
He's fine. Yes.
Yeah,
was a good, abrupt death.
He had such a good power, too. Like, that, like,
Oh
ability,
my God,
I was
yes.
like, what the heck? This dude's gonna be awesome. And then he gets, like, nuked from the inside. And it's by Havoc's blast, too, which kind of hurts, because it's like, like, that was Havoc's energy. Like, his friend killed him, essentially, like, unintentionally.
Yes.
And it's just, oh my God.
Oh, Havoc's death also needs justice. Bull
God!
shit. Havoc's deserves so much better. Alex Summers, I am so sorry. Dumb. Explosion? What? Like,
and it's something
what?
that, like, Quicksilver could have gotten him. He could have gotten him. Like, he would have been burnt, probably, but he still could have gotten him.
That was a bullshit death right there. That was another cheap, like, no, like, the main
we can't have.
like, we lost another one. Like,
they were like, we can't have two Cyclopses. We gotta kill
another
one.
one down. Yeah, it's fucking.
And Havoc, to be honest, his power was probably cooler than Cyclops because he had that ability where it was like he couldn't control it. It was his whole freaking body. Cyclops was just like, I got laser eyes. Yes, like he like. Oh my God!
Like, the rings were cool fucking looking.
The concentric rings around his body, like, of just energy, like it's like a maelstrom. He just released a maelstrom out of nowhere, and it's just like it's insane. But then Cyclops is like, pew pew, I have laser eyes.
I wish they would have given Nightcrawler more screen time too. That's a nice character that keeps getting sidetracked so hard.
Can I just say,
like, I love him.
Can I just say the inclusion of his father in the first movie was a nice touch, to be honest, that people usually gloss over. And it's interesting because he's Mystique's and Azazel's kid. And they were together in that first movie, right? So like who
Definitely like
they reference that from the comics, which is really interesting. That I like that.
right. I wish they would have explored that more because that character was so interesting and I liked him. And they explored like Quicksilver and his dad being like
Yes.
Magneto, but they never explored the idea of Nightcrawler and his mom being Mystique and like his mom
Nope.
being the one that like rescued him and brought him in. So that he didn't know like this whole idea like they interacted a ton and he never. I
He
don't get
never
why they
knows.
didn't put two like. Right? I don't get why he didn't put two and together of like, oh, she's blue and I'm blue. Like maybe something happened here. Like I don't get, and it wasn't just like blue and blue. It was like blue and blue like avatar marks.
Yeah. Like their entire like skin like texture is like identical. And then also
I wanted
the thing that she also didn't question, like that she was like working with Azazel or she was going against Azazel at one point, like seeing that character, like, oh, like I've met somebody like you before, like why didn't she talk to him about that? They talked multiple times, like why didn't she reference like I've seen somebody with your kind of powers before, of like teleportation? It doesn't make any sense. Like they really did him dirty.
Deserved a lot more.
Yes.
They did him dirty in like all the movies too. Like he never really fully got to come through as a
And he's
character.
such
They
an
just
amazing
wanted to keep-
character.
Yes, because they focus on like in the OGs they focus on like Professor X and like Magneto and their relationship and Jean Grey and Cyclops and Wolverine. That's kind of like the ones they really focus on.
And the
then
beast
everyone
beast
else
is thrown
kinda
in there every once in a while.
Oh yeah, the beast. Right. Sometimes he comes through like, and I feel like a lot of times he comes through as like, I know the math answer, or it's I have 6 toes from like the original, like, like first class, like and like I'm in love with like Mystique, like that's really what comes up. But yeah, there's a lot of characters that I'm like, oh, I think would have been cool. Like Jubilee, I think Jubilee would have been cool one to kind
Yes.
of explore a bit more. Her power was just cool. I just liked it. Or like they brought in, was it Storm? They brought Storm in. Oh my god, like she deserved more.
Angel.
I like I do quite Angel. Yes, that's the other one. I do like those like ideas of like people who like just got corrupted in the wrong way, but
Yeah,
like didn't like they deserved also a shit ton more screen time because they like touched base on like, oh, the big bad's found them and now they're gonna like and then it was like, oh, big battle and like, okay, well that's it, like that's the end of their. But it's like, god, those are perfect like foils to the main characters because those are people who are like same kind of like boat as them, but like just didn't get the rescue that they did, you know, or get the spot or like the proper training, whatever. They were on their own, like completely with no sort of guidance, and they just went with the first person who was willing to do it. Like,
the first
really
person
good
that
foils.
the first person that went to help them was just a blue Egyptian god. He was pretty much like Osiris came up to them and he was like, hey, I know you got powers, I got powers too, check this out, I'm gonna give you metal wings instead of the normal wings. You want to be my homie now? Okay, that's cool, now we're gonna take over the world. Like, they did Apocalypse dirty in that movie. He did not get the proper arc that he deserved. Like, he should have been like
So
set
hard.
up. God,
Yes.
I would have like at least like 2 movies of setup before introducing him. Please, like
They
he's
did a light one with they did light setup with like Jean Grey dreaming of the end of the world, and that was like
yeah with
Bro,
Dark
I
Phoenix.
laughed when Professor X lost his hair. Like that whole scene was supposed to be an intense like they're becoming whatever. I was laughing my ass off when he went bald, and I was like, no, his lovely hair. Like that's all I could. I didn't care about the rest of it. I was just like, not his hair. Like, oh god, Apocalypse, you really are the fucking worst character out there. You made him bald. It's like his hair's never gonna grow back, man.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. But like X-Men, they have the potential now with the House of M that might be included with WandaVision, if they can bring them back in like properly, and they're kind of already doing that too with like Deadpool. Like it's obviously like a more quote unquote lighthearted movie, I guess. But like the inclusion, okay, I love the little like when he says like, why are like only you two around, like couldn't the studio pay for more of you? And then in the background they're like all having a little party and they're like, oh shit, like close the door. Like, can't they just throw us a bone and give us like Beast or like Professor X or something? And they're like, oh fuck, like he's right there. Close the door. And that like inclusion that they actually do exist in like Deadpool's universe. Like if they can connect Deadpool, they have the X-Men. If they can connect the X-Men to WandaVision, then they have the X-Men in the MCU. It's like they can easily be put back in there, and they need to.
was the movie that came out? Because I remember one of the characters in it was Colossus's sister, where she has like the metallic arm that spawns out and can get into a different dimension. Oh my god, it just came out. It was like New Heroes or something. I'm gonna look it up.
New
So that's
Mutants.
Maisie
New
Williams.
Mutants. It was New Mutants.
Yes, New
Yeah.
Mutants. Yes, because I remember reading like I recognized some of these characters. I'm like, what is this character? And they like had Colossus's that word's hard for me, sister in there. So like, she's one of the characters. But that one was a pretty good like introduction into like a new stem of the X-Men universe that was like not directly involved with the OG X-Men plot. So I do quite
Like an
like some of the series
anthology.
they bring up. Yeah. And like I quite like that. And then I also liked it got canceled. It was what the fuck? It had what's her name? Oh my god, what is it? Why can't I remember? It came out and it was canceled and it had the girl who can control metal. She has green hair.
Oh.
X-Men.
Frick. No, I know who you're talking about. Oh my god.
Name?
Oh my god, it starts with a P.
Look at
Right? I think so. I know.
Laura Dane. Polaris.
Polaris. Yes.
So, The Gifted came out. I loved that show. They canceled it, but I thought that one was such a cool, like, it kind of went off the rails, not gonna lie.
Mhm.
But that one was also a really cool introduction of, the X-Men are gone. We're in the future now. Like, mutants are like they never got. I mean, I guess there's this whole thing like mutants never got anywhere ever in society, so they're back at a square one of this like hunting down the mutants and getting rid of them. Like, and it's like
Sentinels,
the underground. And I thought that was such a like. Yes, and like it's such a cool like oh my god, you get to match all these characters together that are like not necessarily. I'm gonna go through some of the characters that are in here of like.
They're not like heavy hitter names like that in the normal X-Men lineup, but you could still like they're essentially like the new version of the X-Men, which is interesting. And it's just like
yes, and they canceled it. There was such a cool thing with the siblings, Laura Strucker and then Andy Strucker. The siblings that interact with each other of like they run like how
Strucker.
Cloak and Dagger should have ran.
Why
they
is that last name
require each other.
familiar?
Struck. Oh, because the father was also a mutant. What is his name? Reed Strucker. Is the bigger one out of them. But they have like Blink in here, Eclipse. Who are the other ones that they had? The Frost Sisters and Sage. Those are Sage, you get it. But like these characters that had such interesting abilities, but just have never been seen on more mainstream media. It was a really cool introduction to them, but it got canceled because it kind of went off the rails a little bit. But they had a really cool dynamic of what Cloak and Dagger should have been. Of these two twins who require each other and they're connected with each other. There's this whole like they have a lot of set of twins in the show. They have the Frost sisters who interact as one kind of being with each other, the triplets, which is cool because they're all telepaths that interact with each other and like kind of require each other to fully express. And you see with them, one of them kind of break off, which is kind of interesting. You start to see them not be a unit. But you also catch Andy Strucker and his sister, and they like interact with this. They require each other to thrive. Their powers, Andy is complete destruction, while Laura is complete protection. Like she creates these energy shields, right? And so they find out that they can work together, and as Laura creates the energy shields, it allows Andy to focus in his power into one spot, which he can't do normally. So they require each other to thrive, but they're also connected with each other. So when they get split up, there's this whole disconnect from them. They get split up, and there's this whole idea of like Andy went to the wrong side. He went to the dark side, while Laura went to the right side. And you see on both these sides that they're both going for like the same thing of mutant rights. One's just a little bit more radical than the other. And you see throughout it that both these characters deteriorate very quickly without each other. That's what Cloak and Dagger should have been, but they didn't successfully do
symbiotic
that.
relationship.
So you see these, exactly. You see these characters fall apart, and they don't even realize it themselves. They aren't able to like contribute. Like they are just like they require each other to be able to survive, pretty much. Like they both fall apart. And, like, it's such a cool dynamic that, like, really wasn't explored. Like, that's what I was hoping for Cloak and Dagger that you didn't get at all.
Yeah.
So it's, like, that was a show that had a really good interaction with that.
Why would they cancel it?
But its ratings dropped after I think the second season pretty quick because
Okay.
the first season was pretty stunning with a good cliffhanger and stuff like that. Because two of the Polaris and Eclipse have a child, and there's this huge thing of they're the same thing of they are like each other's foils, and they get split up, and you see them fall apart without each other too. But yeah, they bring in some like really interesting characters in here, like very kind of more minor um X-Men heroes that have like such cool like powers. Let me see. Like where is she? I need to find her in here. Oh, Rebecca Hoover. She's like a very minor character, but her whole thing is she can twist stuff. Like it sounds weird, but she can alternate the plane in which she switches things around pretty much and like foils them in on each other, and you see her interact with it, and she has one of the like you see that character go off the rails like someone who just descends straight into madness but as a teenager. Like I think her character is 16 in the show.
Oh my god.
And like that was such a good like minor villain for a second of like she doesn't get far. I don't want to spoil it necessarily, but she doesn't get far in it, and she doesn't actually ever get to successfully become a villain because like the bigger villain is trying to like she has a whole conflict that ends up in not good. But you see, there's this moment of like she has a really cool moment where all these they end up storming into this building and putting everyone in a room, which is I think it's the what is it? It's like a CEO that's like funding the people hunting them down. So they break into it, right? They force all these people in the room, and they're all gonna leave them there. Like got whatever they want, they're gonna leave. And you see her like just fully descend into madness, and you can see in the room where you can just like her powers kind of go, and the room twists, and she finds out when she twists the room, she twists all their bodies too, and just murders all of them, mass murder of this like 40, 50 people, right?
Jesus
and
Christ.
And you're like, oh my god. Because that's a moment where you're like, because you kind of like this character because you see her backstory and all this stuff, and you can see her kind of going bad, but you're like, you remember she's like younger. She interacts with one of the like very popular characters. Her whole interactions with Andy, the twin, and you like their interactions, right? You could tell that she's not necessarily a good person, but you don't necessarily think of her as an evil person up until that moment when you're like, oh my god, and then you catch the signs, and it's such a cool moment of like this minor character, and you're like, now you're getting their backstory, now you're seeing how a proper villain actually go, and then you get this bang of she dies, you don't get any villain arc. Like you go like, oh, this could be the villain, and then she's dead, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
They pretty much like blue balled you. They were just like like leading up to that point, and they're like, hey, this is like a potential like big villain right here. We're just gonna chop that in half. That's it. No more. Yeah, you really thought, didn't you? No. Right? We're not gonna go there.
And all those characters have like, oh my god, you see like the Frost sisters, like there's this huge twist of like the Frost sisters actually weren't just 3, there was 6 of them, and they were being used to hunt down their own species. And how it worked was like they'd separate the sisters out, so they'd take 3 of them, they'd have to interrogate, so use their telepathy towards these people, or else they would kill their, because they can do mind control, so they either can make you do whatever you like, whatever they want, or they can search in your memories. They can read your mind. That's their 2 things. So they would like use
pretty much
that,
like they were using them like for like MK Ultra, but it was actually successful.
Yes. And so and they're like children like too, which is kind of like it's kind of sad because you start to like really sympathize with these characters because it's kids. Like whenever these scenes pop up, these are children that they're doing this to. And how it works is if they don't do what they do, they all have collars on, and it will kill their siblings. So the other 3 in their room. Yeah. So you find out that the 3 that survived escaped and sacrificed their own sisters to escape out. Dang. And you gotta get this moment of like, what a fucked up backstory.
Yeah, because
oh my god,
they had to sacrifice their siblings, and they knew that it was gonna happen. It's not like, oh, if I leave, like maybe I can come back and get them later. It's like, no, I leave, they die.
No, they die, and they're all interconnected with each other. Oh, if one gets hurt, the other kind of feels it. They knew their siblings. It's like twin telepathy to like upper scale. They can function on their own. They're not a cohesive unit. Like you catch one character could be like strive off from her siblings completely, but they are very interconnected with each other, which is why you don't ever really see them farther from each other. So they felt that and you can see it. They knew their sisters were gone. Like they felt
not
it.
necessarily like a hive mind, but like more of like a collective consciousness.
Exactly, yes,
Yeah,
and they're
they're
normally all on the same
interconnected.
page, and which is why it's kind of interesting to see when one of them turns against the other, because it's like really hard to do because they're all within each other's minds pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even though they if one separate, like, they can't tell what the other's doing if she's not around, but the moment they're around, they're all telepathic. Like, they all communicate with each other. That's how they communicate. Like, a lot of times they don't even talk in the show. You don't even really see them talking to each other as often unless it's around other people because they all interact telepathically, which
That's
is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are a cool bunch that I quite enjoy.
I got a thing. Favorite like villain for each respective, like favorite villain and favorite hero that you have for like Marvel and DC, if you can choose one, or
Like
like
interacting with each other.
oh
Like
no
the
no no no,
same.
just
Oh, okay,
just
okay.
favorite like just their whole backstory, lore, like arcs that they've gone through, like what like peaks your, like I guess like if you're making a list, like who's at the top or towards the top, I guess.
You can go, Kenna.
Funny. I don't have one right now. I'm still thinking.
Hmm.
I would say for here. Okay, this one's specific for a show
Mm-hmm.
because I like the backstory they gave him. I like the Riddler's backstory in Gotham. I think that's such an
Mm.
interesting. The whole dissociative identity disorder was really cool for that. Of like, even though I don't necessarily like the stigmatism that you get in BDF or DID, um, that was a very cool interaction of watching the Riddler come to be through that show. It was very interesting. It was one of the, like, they did really cool with that character. So it made me appreciate the Riddler a lot through that. So that's my villain,
For
I
DC,
want to say.
or
For
prefer
DC,
like for, yeah,
yes.
okay.
For
Um,
DC. And then, uh, thinking is hard. And then I had to say Batman for DC because Batman's has always been like my all time. To be honest, I've always adored Batman and all that. Yeah, I've always been a Batman kind of nut. So
we stand Batman here.
I do. I do. I don't necessarily. I don't think Batman's a good hero. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh
Batman
no no
has
no.
his fucking issues, and for heroism, he is not. He has. Yeah, he's very not hero a bunch of times in the comics,
Have you
and that's
seen
it. Kind of sucks.
The Killing Joke, or read The Killing Joke, or
Mm,
watched the animated version of it?
no, I haven't.
It is
Badly.
it is very dark. It like the ending of it. It has people like questioning. Like there's obviously like you obviously know what happens at the end, but like if you get to that point, I don't know if you want me to like say anything. Like if should I not? What happened?
Uh, Spoiler warning for anyone listening to the podcast
Spoiler
for the
if you have not
show.
watched or read The Killing Joke. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Maybe um, I'll be brief. Just like skip forward like a minute if you want. Really quickly. The ending of this is essentially it's left with you thinking whether Batman kills or like kills the Joker or not. That's the whole point of that. And it's left with just him and the Joker have a human moment together where they're both like the Joker makes a joke and Batman laughs. The joke is essentially okay. I should have said longer. I should have said longer. It's gonna take a bit to explain. The joke.
2 more minutes.
Yeah, 2 more minutes. The joke is essentially it's it's about them. It's about their relationship essentially, where it's two people within an, if I could like briefly say this, it's two people in an insane asylum. One jumps over when they finally escape. They're jumping across the rooftops, and one jumps over the rooftop, and the other one doesn't want to jump. So he brings out the other one that jumped, brings out a flashlight, and he puts the flashlight out right there, and he says, "Dude, like walk across the beam to me. You can do that." And he says, "No, like think I'm an idiot? Like I'm not gonna walk across the beam of light." He's like, I know you're lying to me, and it's I butchered the joke completely, but the whole thing is that both of them are essentially insane to where one thinks that he can even though that the Batman thinks that he can help Joker, even though he's so far gone, the Joker realizes that he's too far gone already. And he's in turn calling Batman the insane one to even think that he has a remote chance as to help the Joker in any way. And in telling him that, it finally clicks for Batman, and he's like, "Well, shit, I can't help him. I've been trying this whole time to help him, and it's just been an uphill battle that I can't really win." And it's just left with both of them laughing at their, I guess, both of them being like just driven to a point where their relationship both like thrives off of each other's madness, and they're just
Heath Ledger's
oh
Joker has that line completely perfect.
yeah
That whole summarized thing
yeah
with the where Batman goes, "Do you want to kill me?" And he was like, "No, I don't want to kill you. You complete me. I am nothing without you."
mm-hmm.
Like
And that's the whole point
I
of
will
them.
put out there. Yeah, right. Interaction between villain and hero, like Joker and Batman
have
like
the
is
best
one of
one.
the most complex, like most interesting. Like the further in depth you get between these characters, the more alike they get, and it's so interesting. And it's so interesting their dynamic. Like throughout most of like comics and stuff, Joker never permanently ever wants to get rid of Batman, and then you kind of see that Batman doesn't really want to get rid of Joker either. Like, I mean, he tries to capture him, but, like, I think both of them understand that there is nowhere to go. Because Penguin, Riddler, Poison Ivy, all of them, they come and
Scarecrow,
go.
yeah.
But, like, Joker, Scarecrow, too. But Joker and Batman, like, are the epitome of, like, each other. Like, there is
The yin
nothing
to the
without
yang,
them.
yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
the whole
perfect.
point of the Killing Joke is to show that, and that show that both characters in realizing that and realizing that it's a futile battle to like it's essentially showing that Batman realizing that he can't like help him, that he's pretty much keeping the Joker alive to then feed back into himself and give himself purpose. And in realizing that, that in turn breaks him. That finally breaks Batman to the degree where he's like, well, if there's no point to this, why the heck am I keeping him alive then? And the whole movie ends with just it's both Batman and Joker laughing at the joke. They both like have each other like by their shoulders. It looks like very like human. This is like the most human that they've ever
Yeah.
looked before. And then it fades to black and it's just left with Batman laughing, where it's pretty much saying like he finally just broke to the point where he said, "Why am I keeping you alive if it's not going to help me eventually?" And he kills the Joker. He finally
Shit.
kills the Joker, and it's just he's so broken in realizing that his life is pointless. There's no purpose to it. And the only purpose that he had was keeping this insane man on the streets killing people just so that way I had a reason to get up in the morning. And it's so dark. It's so dark.
Oh man, that's so interesting to think about. Of like Batman finally reaching the breaking point of like, oh god, yeah, those two have the most. Oh my god, that dynamic is honestly like nothing tops it. Like Lex Luthor and like Superman, like even like Thanos and Iron Man, like none of that shit really interacts. Even like the whole Bucky and
Captain America.
Steve Rogers, like yeah, none of that shit equivalates to it at all. Like, yeah, at all. Like towards these like similar. I guess you could see like, sometimes with the Flash, you catch a similar dynamic with the Reverse Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Of like that kind of like opposite end of the same like same coin different side or different sides of the same coin kind of idea.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes, but like nowhere near like, and that's just like, and that's also a way lighter version of like, anyways, because the Flash is more of the lighter hero out of that grouping, but yeah, nothing compares really to that dynamic at all. And like Joker's so fucked, like the whole like Jason Todd torture and stuff. Oh my
Oh my god.
god, like so dark, oh, so fucked up, man.
I mean, we did get Red Hood though, so is there really like no harm, no foul, really? Oh my god.
You know, like it's fine.
Mm,
So,
you
but,
have to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
yeah. But that's the other thing. That's the other thing. The Titans, like the live action version, also fucks up the whole Jason Todd scenario too. About because they don't have the Joker in it because they can't like afford it or get the rights for it.
Also,
which is like true.
what was the inclusion of that in? Was it Justice League or which movie with Batman where they included Jason Todd's Robin outfit where he's already dead, he's already gone, and it's just like they reference the Joker, they reference that the Joker killed him, or like a whole thing with the Joker and Jason Todd. They mentioned that not explicitly, but it's like mentioned slightly. I don't remember which movie it is. God,
Oh, they
Justice
do it in
League?
I think they allude it to in Young Justice. They allude to it a little bit.
They allude to it in Young
Of the
Justice.
Robin death.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have so in Young Justice, there's like in the mountain that they stay in, Mount Justice or whatever, they have like an area for the dead. So you see the original Blue Beetle is one of the holograms, and then you see a Robin is a hologram in there too.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is. I'm pretty sure they allude to that because you see Tim Drake come in, but you don't ever see the Jason Todd come in ever into that show.
Yeah.
But you see in I think the second season they allude to Jason Todd's like demise in it, but they never allude to Red Hood. But you do see a Robin hologram. But that's the only one I think Justice League alludes to it a bit too. But
There's
I know
like
Young Justice definitely had Jason Todd in there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
'Cause
one
they also
scene
have like the
showing
Flash
that.
in there too. So or not the Flash, Kid Flash. There, that's his name.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. The what's his name? The Flash guy from the future they bring into Young Justice. Oh, that was such an interesting dynamic. What's his name? I can remember. Give me a sec.
It's been a while since I've watched Young Justice. I need to rewatch that.
He's friends with the new Blue Beetle. Why can't I not remember his name? I can literally picture him right now. Not Googling it. I'm not Googling it.
I heard that.
You don't hear
You got this,
Sage. Impulse, that's his name. Impulse. Impulse was such a cool character to introduce. It's what's his name? It's the Flash's grandson from the future, and he comes back in Young Justice, and his whole thing is he's pretending to come back as like he comes back in time, and he befriends the new Blue Beetle, right? Because the original Blue Beetle in the show dies, and there's a second gen kind of him who he actually gets the Skarath, or however you pronounce it. So him and Impulse are friends, and there's this really cool kind of dynamic with them that I quite like, where the Blue Beetle, he's the big villain in the future that Impulse comes back to stop. And they befriend, and then he finds out halfway through that he's the demise. And there's this whole cool kind of conflict. It doesn't play off topic with the Flash, but Impulse was a cool character that I've never seen in media, like TV series wise ever come in. That era of the Flash. He was kind of cool. I liked him. And he was funny, so.
They need
He was
to.
pretty cool.
They're coming out with a new movie for the Flash, right? If I remember correctly.
Are they? I'll watch it. I didn't know that, but
I think
watch
it's
it.
in development or something. And then I remember.
Is it gonna be the one with like Ezra, or whatever? Because I don't really like his Flash. I'm gonna be honest. I'm okay with it. It's not my
Dang.
favorite.
No, yeah, it's with him. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
I don't mind it, but.
Can I just say, okay, the sole reason why I watched Aquaman was to see Black Manta finally in like live action. I just really wanted to see Black Manta because I love Black Manta so much. God. And then like just like how he looks, like his whole aesthetic, I just love so much. He may have a goofy head, yeah, I'll admit that, but we look past that. He's not a flying saucer, trust me. God, I love Black Manta so much. And then okay, little peeved off. have you watched Suicide Squad? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
First one, I haven't seen the second one.
The second one I don't think has come out yet. It's still in like it hasn't like been fully
Birds of
released.
Prey?
Oh no
Oh
no
no,
no
like
no,
Birds
no.
of Prey.
Oh, Birds of Prey is in there's an actual Suicide Squad too. Birds of Prey
Oh,
is
this is oh.
yeah it's
That's
a
the Harley Quinn
separate
spin. Okay,
entity.
that's
Yeah.
a spinoff. My
Mhm.
bad. My
Yeah.
bad. I thought that was the second one.
Still,
Never
Harley
mind.
Quinn is just like I love Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
like
like how they turn away from because they really heavily sexualized Harley Quinn in the first one, and in the second one they redeem her character very well, which I very much appreciate.
yes.
And I like how they spin it in a way of like she was like that because of the Joker, but once she got independent, like spun away like from that.
That's
that was
it.
kind of cool. I like how they
Yeah.
character it and like they redeemed themselves from that because I think they got a lot of hate for that. Like they've kind of they kind of one-dimensionalized her like without meaning to. Like they try to make her dynamic, and she is dynamic, but in some ways they accidentally one-dimensionalized her. They redeemed themselves.
Oh yeah, heavily. Yeah, I just it was such a I really like that movie a lot. Like they need to continue with that definitely. And then also the new approach that they're taking with Suicide Squad is interesting because they're adding more, I guess, anti-heroes or villains into the lineup. The choice though, like Polka Dot Man, like really, why?
Who is that? What?
Polka Dot Man is in there, yeah. And I seeing him, I was like, I know he's like one of the members, but why? Why Polka Dot Man? Why not Black Mana, who's like a mainline villain? Come on.
I hate it so much.
Like a good lineup.
Yeah.
Good lineup. They should have kept El Diablo. Also, they should have kept him. They did him dirty. They killed him off.
They
way
took him
too
out?
quick.
Oh yeah, did they kill him off?
He died in the first one, and I was
forgot.
like, he was such a good anti-hero. He wasn't a villain. He was so not a villain. He just was like brought up wrong. He was brought up in the wrong area. He accidentally did the wrong thing, wrong place, wrong time. It was just everything was going wrong for him. It's just, and then like that, yeah, he kind of did redeem himself at the end. And I was like, that's good for him. But why kill him? He was so dynamic. I would have loved to see him in the new one, because a good lineup would have been Harley Quinn, El Diablo, Black Mana, Killer Croc. Oh fuck, they brought in King Shark finally. King Shark is in there, which is good. Like there's so many different people that have been within the Suicide Squad that they could just like squeak in there. That would have been such an amazing lineup.
Yeah.
Why Polka Dot Man? Like I really wish you guys who are listening to this could see my reaction. Why Polka Dot Man? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Which one doesn't fit in? Like which one doesn't fit?
They were like, we need to get somebody who's like obviously somebody who doesn't fit in and who's just like the random pick. Like no, not. I just can't get over the fact that they have not included Black Mana in there. He's already confirmed in there. Like he would have been such a great addition already in Suicide Squad 2, but you know, James Gunn had to have Polka Dot Man, of course.
I was okay with Suicide Squad wasn't my favorite. I didn't mind it. It wasn't my favorite. I don't know. It felt kind of all over the place. And,
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I felt like the pacing behind it because they had like I liked the villains that they brought in, the anti-heroes that they brought in, and I loved their. It was funny as fuck. Don't
Captain
get me wrong.
Boomerang.
And it's
I
like
have to
I
love
would
him.
literally and like I definitely would like I'm gonna rewatch it. Like that's a show I'm gonna go back and visit. But like it was definitely one where I was just kind of like.
A little
I
confused.
don't know how I feel. Like it's definitely something where I had to do a lot of research behind these characters because like these are like because I like my Marvel and DC, but I am in no way like whatever say I'm an expert on it at all. The closest I can get to it is that I just my sister is really into Batman too. Like she's the one who's read all the comics and relays information to me, and I'm like, oh that's cool. And I'll do my own like look up what she tells me. That's the closest I can get to it is Batman stuff, and that's like very like there are people who will know so much more than me, and I'm sure I've said stuff and pronounced stuff, or someone's listening to this and it's like, this girl's a fucking fake. Like, what is she on? Like,
No,
hold up, and it's
trust
fair.
me too.
That's fair. Like, same thing with the mythology one we did yesterday too. Like, I'm sure I mispronounced so much shit, or like mixed up names and shit, or someone listening who like really is into this is like, what the fuck?
But see, that's the whole
Why
point of
did
this
you do
podcast.
this?
It's a casual conversation. We don't have to do research necessarily, unless it's like on like specific like scientific stuff. Then obviously do research into that. But like, this is casual talk. Not like we're not.
When I looked up stuff. I looked up stuff for the horror movie one because that's what I thought it was gonna go, and then everyone else was like, I don't know, and I was like, what the fuck? I had like notes written down. I just never did it again. I was like, okay.
We're like, so what's your guys' favorite horror movie? And Sage is like I have facts. I have facts.
And everyone else was like, wow, you actually like tried?
Yeah,
and
we spent like 5 minutes like in awe, like what? She actually brought stuff in, like
notes and shit down. Like, I was like, this villain and this villain. Then I forgot this movie. I was like, assholes, I spent like a good half hour like looking shit up.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Have this then somewhere. And I feel like, scratch this out because like we'd like skip a question or some shit. They're like, never fucking mind.
No, we like spent like a minute on a question. We're like, next thing, and you're like, okay then.
So for this intellectual conversation.
We had one, I think, and it was, if I remember correctly, it was during the Cyberpunk video, and that one's not even out already. Like, I still have to edit that, but we actually had just one scientific conversation like during that one, and it was probably like a good 15 minutes, and that was it. Everything else is just went to heck after that.
It's okay. Nothing as fucking chaotic as whatever happened yesterday. That shit was.
Oh my god. I will
Yeah,
say, okay.
people listening, watch the mythology one if you want to see some fucking weird ass
Why
conversation.
am I doing finger guns? They can't see me. I was like, that, yes.
It's a chaotic fucking podcast about absolute You want to see us talk intellectually about Greek mythology for like 30 minutes and then spin off about everything else in life? Go ahead. Like, there's a crocodile. I don't even remember how. I told you yesterday. I probably don't remember half the stuff I said.
You're a scaly. You're a scaly. That's what we confirmed yesterday.
Yes, I do remember because I saw the snap where I sent it to McKenna about like, McKenna, look at this guy, yummy, and it was like Sebek, and then she said, ooh, a wooga, a wooga. And all the Loki memes. I remember all the Loki memes.
Oh my god, why?
That shit was
getting
so funny.
nailed by a horse was probably the worst part of the podcast. I can't believe I mentioned that too. I was the one who mentioned that. I was like, oh yeah, like Loki gets railed by a horse and then gives birth to an 8-legged horse that Odin now uses as his main steed to ride in the battle with. And everybody was like, rewind, please? Hold up, wait a minute, something's not right here. What do you mean Loki got railed? Wouldn't it be the other way around? And then that just led into it went downhill from there.
Start off like, didn't Loki get himself pregnant? And we were all like, what the fuck? And
Yep.
then we were on a long tangent with it. We were like, what the hell? And I sent the most weird ass fucking memes I found. So my favorite one is the like adopted son, Loki adopted son. That one was
pretty good,
funny,
yeah.
'cause it was like Thor, Odin's
Odin's
son,
son.
Loki adopted son.
Oh my god.
That's a good. So that is Lily Pros back in time. We're just revisiting the other podcast again. Do a podcast off a podcast.
Real quick, so like we're about to hit that 2-hour mark again. But real quick, okay. You said, Sage, that you know like Batman lore essentially, like out of everything, that's like the hero that you know most.
I know it the most. I would never put money on me for it, but I can hold my own. like, I am not. Disclaimer: I am not an expert. I think I've read one comic.
Disclaimer: she is the expert. She is our Batman
No,
expert.
no. I just think hold on. I just think Dick Grayson is hot. So I learned.
Is it because of his first name?
Bro, fucking acro.
Wow.
Richard.
Richard. Richard Grayson. God. Is there a character like that you have, McKenna? Somebody that you know
What?
significant, like, is there a character that you know, like, a significant amount of information about?
God, I don't think so. Like, I never really got into like reading all the comics or anything and like getting like super into the lore, so like I don't really have a character like that, I'd say.
A favorite, though. You have to have a favorite.
A favorite of like which universe though?
Ooh. Wait, are you talking about, like, the different universes in Marvel? Like the 313 and everything like that? Or do you mean, like,
Mm,
Marvel DC?
yeah.
Okay. Well, what about Marvel?
Wild guess for that. Okay, hold up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What about
Lore, and you're like, okay, so which universe? 313? What the fuck? Which lore?
my bad? I'm sorry. For Marvel.
Marvel. Um, I mean, I really like Deadpool, but like who doesn't like Deadpool, you know? Like Ryan Reynolds just like makes that character like completely. But I mean, he is like I do really like him in like the comics and stuff too, I gotta say. Um I do like Iron Man quite a bit too. Yeah.
Which one though?
What do you mean? Uh I
Okay, which
can't be
one?
picking
Yep.
favorites.
Do you like Tony Stank? I'm sorry.
You also like Jason. Don't you really like Jason Momoa, McKenna? Isn't? Don't you think? Don't you and Cheyenne simp for him all the fucking time? Whenever he
No.
gets brought up. Who was it? It was
It's
Cheyenne.
just
I thought you really
Cheyenne.
liked him. Oh, I thought you also really liked him.
No.
Sure,
For
sure.
me, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, but
It's definitely Ryan Reynolds.
that's me too. Like, come on, can't share him. He's
Who
mine.
doesn't simp for Ryan Reynolds, though? Like, let's be
Oh man, Ryan
honest
Reynolds
here.
dancing to Celine Dion. That's my life right
Woo!
there.
Yeah.
You just gotta love Dead.
That was
That's my favorite part of Marvel. Ryan Reynolds dancing to Celine Dion.
My favorite part of Marvel is watching Deadpool play as Pikachu. That's my favorite.
Oh my
Oh my
god,
god.
yeah, Pikachu is probably Detective Pikachu is probably my favorite Marvel Universe character, I gotta say.
I like it when he says, when he does the clip where he points at his butt and he's like rail me in the ass hard and fast. Like that's like my
Oh,
favorite part. No, it's a Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They clipped that audio onto when he's pointing at his butt. It looks funny. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
so anyways.
the limit
Anyways,
right there. That's the limit.
that's the limit. That is.
There
the
was a
limit.
line and you just crossed the line. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
leave now. I'm never coming back. This is the end.
yeah.
Goodbye. Never talk to me again.
I just ruined
How dare
Pikachu
you?
for you right now. And Pikachu is yellow.
I've never played a Pokemon game by the way. At all.
Excuse me?
What?
Nah. I
I
barely
could-
know Pokemon at
Not
all.
even tried one?
I'm not. No, I mean, okay, I played one that wasn't really a Pokemon game. It was
Which
like
one?
a game where you had like a yard, and like little Pokemon would walk into it, and you'd like talk to them, and then you'd keep them in your yard. It was like my
Snap,
cousin's game.
maybe?
I would have no fucking clue.
Maybe.
I didn't even know it was a Pokemon game until like I saw like a Charizard or something like, and I was like, that's a fucking Pokemon. Like I don't know Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon's an Eevee because it's the only fucking one I can remember that isn't like the original
Okay.
like 3. That's
Okay,
it.
but,
Like
that's a good one to like though, because Eevee is just like
my sister's
chunky
is
one.
Ovarion or whatever, an Eevee fucking evolution. I don't remember.
Umbreon?
It's the dark one.
Umbreon.
Umbreon. That's my sister's. My sister's all-time favorite is Umbreon. I didn't even know that was an Eevee evolution until I saw a photo of it, and I was like, oh, that looks like an Eevee because I know what that one is.
Every
So
single Eevee is just like they like graft like Eevee's like facial structure onto like a different Pokemon. That's how you can tell pretty much. It's like, oh, look at that
sister has
like the big eyes and like the little fox looking face, and it's like, wait a second, I know that from somewhere.
sister has like Pokemon games, and she'll like come up to me and be like, "Look, this fucking thing became like evolutionized," and I'm like, "What the fuck is that? Like, what language did you just speak? Like, what the hell?" And then she'd be like her favorite, like she had one that she chose, and then she named. I got to name it, and I named it like Gragnok because that's a funny name I like. I like Gragnok the Destroyer. It's I got from a YouTuber I like, and
Call me
so
Kevin.
she named it that. And she. Yes, yes! You're the first person who's made that connection! Oh my god! No one
Grognak,
else has
Grognak, yeah.
Yes! No one else has made that connection. I'm always that name, and people are like, "What the?" Oh my
I
god!
know
I'm not
about
even
Call
kidding
Me
you. In
Kevin.
math, we had to name a sword, and I named it Grognak the Destroyer. So I was like, I want to seek out all my fucking Call Me Kevin. Not a single person in my class knew what that was from. My teacher called me out about it. She was like, "How to put Grognak the Destroyer? Can someone explain where that's from?" And I was like, "It's from a YouTuber." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "How the fuck do you not know this? Like, this is not a small YouTuber. He's
No,
a
no,
decent. Oh my
he's
god,
pretty big.
what? I love him. Bro, first person ever to make that connection and actually know where that's from. Most times I have to explain, like, or like Turg. I'll do Turg quite a bit, and people, it's the same fucking deal. People are like, "What the fuck is a turd?" And I'm like, "No, it's Turg. Get it fucking right. Come on."
I'll bow to that then.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we just connected on like a whole other fucking plane because of that. So much respect towards you now. You're on the right side of YouTube from that shit.
I'm in.
So, that just blew my mind.
Oh my goodness. Where are we going with this?
Oh, we were talking about Pokemon, and then I was talking about the name of
Okay,
Pokemon.
I am a huge, like, freaking like neckbeard level Pokemon nerd. Like it's bad. It's real bad. They the names of literally every single Pokemon occupy a section of my brain that I have not been able to clear out. I really want to. I want to store some other stuff in there, but it's refusing to come out. It's like that like it's like that virus. I downloaded a virus into my brain, and it's like, okay, I deleted it, and it's like, no, you didn't, nerd. You deleted it like a false copy of it. It's actually over here. Like I can't get them out.
Copy.
I can't get them
You
out.
thought?
I I've already told McKenna this. Like what was it? You asked me a question, right? You were watching Detective Pikachu, and you were like you were asking me questions about Pokemon while you were doing so, and I was just like listing off names like nothing.
When we started talking about like the cutest Pokemon and stuff,
Yes.
and like,
Okay, that's what happened.
listen, what's its name? Like Minchino or whatever. Like, oh my
Minccino.
god,
Minccino,
yeah, it's
since
so
Minccino evolves into
cute.
Cincino.
It's like a little mouse Pokemon, Sage.
Oh.
It's the cutest thing ever.
Like cute Pokemon. Oh, she hates me because I said that Joltik and like Galvantula were really cute because she hates
Oh my god,
spiders.
there's spiders.
Mew. That one. I like that
Mew's
one.
so cute.
I
He's gone.
I didn't know.
Hold up, wait, hold up, Sage, Sage.
I don't even know.
McKenna knows
Wait,
what I'm getting.
what are all the
Oh god.
types?
Oh god. Oh, I know what
What
he's
are all
doing.
For everybody who can't see right now,
It's
everybody who can't see right now, I'm showing them my perler bead made Mew that I
it's
made.
the thing where you like. This is the thing you like hot iron, right? And it melts, and then it
Yeah.
creates like, oh my god! I had one of those, and I glued them to tables, and I wasn't allowed to use them. And then I didn't use wax paper, and I just used a straight iron.
No.
Yeah, I was never allowed.
man.
And then I got in trouble because I made a dildo, or not a dildo, like I made like a dick out of one. My mom was not happy.
Yeah,
So I ate. I thought that shit was funny.
I have a lot of these. Yo, he's got that dumpy though.
Yeah.
I should not have said that.
He's thick.
No, SpongeBob is not thick.
He is so thick.
He is a
bro.
complete opposite.
Oh my god, you wanna know who's
thick.
thick? Patrick. Patrick
Okay,
is
yeah.
fucking
Patrick
thick.
is Mommy.
Bro,
thick.
him and this fucking the whatever it's called, the fishnets. Oh my god.
Oh. Oh my god.
Wait, have you seen that video, Jeremy, of I feel like you would it's the one where it's like two people getting interviewed. It's a joke about Pokemon, and they're like, that's Big Dick B, and then she's like, it's not a You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
I'll send you a link to it.
Please
I'll
do.
send you a
Oh,
link to
Jesus
it.
Christ.
It
I
was
watched.
funny as shit. I think BuzzFeed made it.
I watched one when Pokemon Go just came out. This lady was so distraught that this guy was pronouncing the Pokemon names. Like, he was giving them their own names. And she was so distraught. It's like, this guy's coming out of nowhere calling, like, Charizard's, like, Mega Fire Lizard or, like, Mr. like, Dicklord or something like that. And it's just like, they panned back to interviewing the guy, and he's just listing off the names of these of Pokemon, like, his own names for them. I'm like,
That's Big Dick B. And she's like, it's a snake, it's not a penis.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pokemon eventually came out with like a design and it was like phallic shaped and like it flew under everyone's radar.
This one, he's like, it's a turd, and that's 3 turds.
Oh, Diglett! I already know it's Diglett. Diglett and Dugtrio.
And I said, he's like, yeah, that one's Pikachu. And she's like, yeah, everyone knows who fucking Pikachu is. I sent you the fucking video. That shit, oh my god, that's a video that lives rent free. And I know the people, because the guy doing it's named Keith. He's from Smosh. It's from Smosh, because the guy's Keith, and the other one is one of their, I forgot her name.
That guy!
She's
No,
in it.
I have seen this one.
The video.
That's the guy! That's the guy! Yes!
Yeah!
Yes, I know
that's
him.
where, it lives rent free in my head. Whenever I see the Wasp one where he goes, that's Big Dick B, you know? It's so funny to me.
Yes, I know this guy.
Oh my
I know this guy. I was literally just referencing that. I know this guy. Yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah, that's it.
I've
It's
seen
the
that
same,
video.
Yeah, it's the same exact video.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
shit, I love it. That's a bunch of little turds. That's Cat. I also know, like, the I'm Jesse and I'm James, and then it's like, meow, it's like that, like, team, it's the only team I know, and it's because I
Team
always
Rocket?
call, meow, yes, Team Rocket. I think McKenna's caught me a couple times being like, how does that intro go? Because it's one of the ones I can remember. Like, I only remember, like, I'm Jesse, and I'm James, and then Meowth right at the end of it. And I got so mad when they, like, in a later generation, or, like, a later show, they took out the Meowth part, and I was so upset. Because that's the only part I can remember. Because I think I've seen, like, one episode, and that just lives in my head from it.
I literally just watched, I watched a freaking video on freaking Instagram. I watched the reels that somebody posted, and they were like, why don't they have the same like lines as they did in the original anime? And there's one line that James says where he says, let's how does he say it?
It's like double trouble.
No, he says what was it? Let's show these women who's boss and banish them back to the dark ages where they belong. And then it was like based James. I was like, what the heck? How did this go? How did they just like, they're like, yeah, that seems okay. We'll let this slide. Like, the writers did not care. The voice actors did not care. They were like, you give me line, I say line. I don't care. I get money. Me happy now. God.
Fucking intro so dumb. To protect the world from devastation.
You know,
To
okay.
unite all people within our nation.
Do you know that
To
they're
announce
actually
the
saying that
evils of
wrong?
Truth and love. To extend our reach.
What's the
to
real
stars
thing?
above.
It's
Jesse,
oh my god.
James.
I
Meow, that's right. Sorry, I'm done. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
But they actually messed up on the Team Rocket motto, I guess, or like whatever that is, their slogan, I guess, if you want to say that. They screwed that up royally, and they always say it wrong. It's actually a much nicer version than what the original is. The original is much more toxic. Yeah, but this is like the sappy version, because they're supposed to be like the good version of Team Rocket, because they're not always bad. They're human. The Team Rocket, like, out of all the like evil teams throughout the games, they're the most mundane. Their goal, they're the most realistic, to be honest, because their whole goal is, we steal Pokemon, we sell Pokemon, we make money. The other ones are like, we're gonna control the god of time and just like create a whole different world. It's like, hey, chill. Why don't you just steal Pokemon? It's easier. You're gonna get money. Why are you gonna go there? Why are you gonna fight a god? What's the whole point of that? And it's just like, it
I'm
escalated
trying to find the
hard.
original. I'm trying to find the original so much. I'm like, I want to read this.
It's there was a version at one point. There was a there's a point in the anime where another group from Team Rocket that's like they're actually not screw ups, to put it lightly, and they actually do their job correctly. They say the actual like slogan for Team Rocket, and you're like when you hear it, you're like something's off, something's not right, and then you hear Jesse, James, and Meowth say it, and you're like, oh, they fucked up. They didn't remember it correctly. It's pretty funny.
Listen, Team Rocket was like my bisexual awakening. Jesse and James
Oh,
could
yes.
get it,
Oh my
bro.
God,
The
yeah.
E-boy haircut, like the long pink hair, bro.
Oh my God.
Listen, hold up. Listen, if
like,
I was
this-
not asexual and wanted to bone, I would bone them both. Okay, hold up. Listen, that was the start of all of it right there.
Dude,
The
their
one episode,
outfits
man.
too are like sick as fuck, man.
Right?
Like, oof, they dripping for real.
Bro, and if you're a furry,
gonna be
Meowth, right there.
No,
All of them
no.
together. You
Oh
can
my
get the whole...
God.
Am I wrong, though?
No, yeah, you are. You don't go with Meowth. You go with Wobbuffet. Excuse me.
What that is. It sounds like a guava. It sounds like a fruit.
You know the blue little monster that they had with them, the one that was just like
No.
Yeah,
like half the time.
I do.
Yeah, you go
This
with
is...
Wobbuffet.
I was... Guava
No.
Fett, not Guava Fix.
No, Wobba, W-O-B, like
Wobba.
W-O and then buffet.
Oh my God.
Guava.
Guava Fix.
Guava.
Sounds like a
Guava.
Jamba Juice drink.
Guava Fett.
This is not what... It looks like a fucking blue turd. What the hell? Oh, it's pink
Okay.
now.
Excuse me?
Okay, do you want to know something interesting about that?
But...
You know the black tail that that has eyes on it?
Yeah.
That's the actual Pokemon.
What?
What?
Yeah, that's the actual Pokemon. The whole point of this is that it's a mimic. It's supposed to be like the body attached to it is like a dummy or a decoy that protects the actual tail that has like all the main organs.
It. Look at Meowth's evolution, bruh.
Oh, Persian?
Bruh. Yes. Me gusta. Just kidding. I already have the furry label. I don't need it. I don't need it again. Please don't.
Sage,
It's
that's
so
not even like
too
that's not even
late.
like humanoid furry
You know what?
at this point.
Jeremy,
that's like
you've
feral.
also actually said that before.
What? I didn't say Persian. I didn't say I hit
Yes, you
Persian.
did. Yes,
I never
you did.
said I
You
hit
said,
Persian.
yeah,
Persian
you
is on
did.
all
I'm
fours.
pretty sure.
Persian's like a mountain lion. Why would I want to hit that?
Wow.
Now see,
Just gonna point out that they're on all fours. Okay.
if there was, and I'm saying there's not, in the alternate universe where I am interested in them that way.
So you are interested in
No,
them.
in an alternate universe, not this one, not this one. But
This one.
no, not this one. Alternate. Stop. Alternate one. If there was a Pokemon I would want to go in that direction with, it would probably have to be a tie between everyone's favorite Gardevoir or if I'm really going the furry route, Delphox.
No. No.
I'm sorry, but the whole mage like witch kind of vibe.
So
I
you are
mean,
into it then?
No. The aesthetic that it has with it, yes, but not the Pokemon. No. That thing has that thing has fur, and like long ears. No, why would I want to do that? No. Humanize it though. Get rid of all that.
You. Here it is.
Maybe.
I got you. Found it.
Wait, what did you do?
Found
No,
it.
why would you?
Found it. That's it. That's a
Oh,
human
God.
version of it.
That is
What
not...
are you talking about?
No. No.
You just-
No. Oh, polka dot man! I just saw that. Ew.
What about this one? Does this one work better?
Stop.
This is such a that's such a cool character design. Don't you
Stop.
fucking delete this art.
Okay, no, that
Don't.
is.
I
But
didn't even-
still.
That's so cool. That's what you asked for. Would you rather this? Okay, hold up. Would you rather this? Okay, what do you want from me? Okay?
Oh my god.
Okay, but like one's more flat than the other one.
Oh,
I'm joking. No.
he went there.
Get out of here.
Wow.
No. Look, no matter the
Woo.
size, I would still not. That does not matter. All right? Size does not matter. In no way does it matter. Especially when it. Did you add it again? Why would you do this to me?
She's not flat.
Just finding your preference.
Don't you dare. Not true.
Oh,
The truth. I can't hide the truth. But like you're disregarding Gardevoir though. You're really doing her dirty like that. I hate this so much. Why did Game Freak think, you know what? Let's make a Pokemon that's essentially like a human. Why not? All right, let's just literally go all in on the furry bait and just make this thing. Because why not?
I'm McKenna's type for Pokemon.
Oh, put it. Let's
What?
see. Let's see.
It's the emo evolution.
Of Sobble? No.
I said so. Chloe plays
No.
Pokemon, so I sent her. Chloe,
Drizzile,
which one of your
no.
Pokemons? I put which one of your Pokemons turned emo for science, and she put Sobble, my fucking starter Pokemon.
Okay, but like Sobble is so baby. Like I love it, and then like it turns into Drizzile, and I'm like, what's happening here? And then it goes into Inteleon, and I'm like, there's some hardcore like domination vibes I'm getting from this, and I do not like
Oh
it.
god.
I look up Inteleon real quick. I'll just type it out.
That looks like a frog.
Yeah, that's Drizzile. That's what Sobble turns into. It's look up Inteleon though, and tell me you do not get like specific vibes from it.
Oh my god, this is a legit fucking just TikTok e-boy right here.
I know, right?
This is your type. I take it back, McKenna. Found it. This is you.
No.
Yeah, TikTok e-boy right there. I got you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, is there human drawings of it?
Stop. Okay, you
Oh
know
my
what? Okay,
God.
hey guys. Okay, this is the end of the podcast. Before we go into more, this is the end of the podcast. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. We really went off the rails here. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, we hit the 2-hour mark for sure. Yeah. Bye bye.
It's right now.
My God. We're not furries.